Hey Libras. This reading is for anyone who identifies as or is terribly interested in a Libra during March 2019. We have the Nine of Pentacles and then the Five of Wands underneath of that. It's the Five of Spears in this deck. It's the Five of Fire. Starting us off. Give me 1 second. This lighting is off. Okay, that's a little bit better. So we see this energy coming through Libras of, well, 99 is showing now. So 99 may be particularly significant for you. And we see this energy coming through of independence with the Nine of Pentacles, maybe in particular financial independence. That took some required getting past some ego drama to achieve that level of independence. And it may be particularly financial independence. It may be just living on your own, some form of independence, maybe independent from someone in particular. There it is again, the Nine of Coins. I think this lighting's a little better for you. So Libras, for some of you, this may be specifically speaking to the last half of March, since it is really past mid-month now before I'm able to get the second half of these readings out. But since this is the first reading I'm doing for you this month, Libra, I am going to consider this a reading for the whole of March 2019. So for others of you, it might apply to the whole month. It looks like this is rooted in heartbreak, but it does look like you are transitioning to a calmer mental and emotional state. Or someone in your life is. I mean, that could also be someone exiting your life, but still I think it brings the situation, and so you as well, a calmer mental and emotional state of being. It may be a Leo, it may be an Aquarius. There may be Leo or Aquarian energies in your own chart that are showing up here that you are really relying on, it looks like. I see that you have been dealing with some heartbreak, and that must be why I kept getting the message of you needing to meditate. I almost meant to start this recording by saying, Libras, you need to meditate. And I know that that is just such a tired message. We hear this all the time. You get that prescribed to you as a solution for everything. But it's one of those instances of you hearing it all the time because it's true, right? We talk about it all the time. We hear it all the time because it's true. It is a prescription for anything and everything. It really is. And when I was shuffling and meditating with the cards before recording Libras, that was just coming through so strongly over and over again, that you do feel like you are the master of your mental world. You feel organized. You feel like you see the truth of what's going on around you. You know what needs to be done, and you are not going to let yourself or anyone else down. And just because you're in that organized, logical state of being, balanced state of mind, it doesn't mean you don't still endure heartbreak like the rest of us. It doesn't mean that you don't still need to meditate on a regular basis in order to maintain that state. That was really what was coming through, is that you think you have it all together to the point where why should you need to stop and take time out of your day to meditate? Some of you, not all of you. And, you can quickly fall out of that balanced state. And it looks like a lot of you are in a place of needing to heal. So that's why I said that must be why that was coming through. You are, you're seeing things clearly around you. You know what's going on and what you need to do. You may even be feeling more like yourself as you're starting to transition to this calmer mental and emotional state and healing from this heartbreak. Honestly, yeah, a lot of you are healing rather quickly. Like, I don't think this heartbreak is too far in the past, and you're already aware, like, you're already aware with the star card here of how to rejuvenate yourself, how to set yourself back to right. You know the steps to go through to get over this. I think what it is that you know that this, whatever has broken your heart, you know that it wasn't meant for you. So it could have been a person, it could have been, losing a job you really wanted, it could be anything, but whatever's broken your heart, whatever has exited your life, you know that it's not meant for you. You know that there's something better meant for you, Libras, and you know how to get there. You're headed toward, I think that is you in the Six of Swords. You're headed toward a better place, even though it hurts to leave something or someone behind, right? And you know how to get there. You know what work needs done. You know how to treat yourself. I think just the only thing that might be missing from the picture is that meditation. And I hate to beat a dead horse. I hate to repeat something you hear all the time, but it came through really strongly for you, Libras. And I do see the Strength card in the recent past, you realizing you needed to and knowing how to show yourself unconditional love in order to get over this heartbreak. And showing yourself total unconditional love means unconditional love in terms of what your mind, your body, and your emotional body all need, right? And that meditation, again, can be a useful prescription, so to speak, for all of the above, for anything and everything that ails you. And so, yeah, I hate to just keep pounding it home, but because it came through so strongly, I just want to say, again, just because you see the truth of what's going on around you and you know that this heartbreak was meant to be and you know how to take care of yourself, it doesn't mean that you can bypass that step. So if some of you are groaning and rolling your eyes and saying, oh, I hear the meditate all the time, it's just not for me. I hate to say it, but that's not an option. If you're a human being on Earth and in this vessel similar to mine, that's not an option. You can't just say, well, I'll eat right and exercise right and love myself and take care of myself in every way, but I'm not going to meditate. I just can't do it. You're going to have to grow, to develop, to continue to progress and evolve in your life, to continue to contribute your best self to the collective and to the world at large. You're going to have to find a way. And I know I'm going on and on about something that's not even on the table, but that's how strongly it came through before when I was shuffling and meditating with the deck. It's just like screaming at me that I have to put that out there for you. If you need to hear it 100 times before you make the change, then you do. And I'm feeling a lot of confirmation about that. I think that's a big part of why you're here, Libras. Especially those of you who are groaning and rolling your eyes and saying, say something useful, say something else. I am saying something useful. You need to meditate. You need to. Like I said, I almost started your video off with just saying, hey, Libras, you need to meditate. I should have. Should have, would have, could have, but that's where we're at. If you can only do it for 2 minutes a day, do it for 2 minutes. If you can do it for 5, work up to 5. I'm not saying you got to sit down 20 minutes twice a day. That may be a lot for somebody who has never started. It was for me years ago at first when I first got started. So just do enough to check it off your list. That's a thing that I did today. I am starting the routine or maintaining the routine. I am holding space for that thing to happen in my day, even if it's 2 minutes. Just so you're doing it and then slowly work up, because you don't want it to go so long that you push yourself. Like, you don't want to make yourself do it more than you want to so that you don't enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, then you won't return to it. If you find that you can't return to it, it's because you're making it something that you can't enjoy. You're making it, you're making it a chore, and when really it's a gift that you're giving yourself. It is a big part of this unconditional love for yourself that you really need to show, especially at a time when you're feeling broken and trying to heal quickly. With the star card upright, though, that's beautiful. Like that is healing energy coming through, and that is a gift from spirit. So I do think you are being greatly aided by the divine, and you are ultimately headed toward a reversal of fortune. Lovely. When I see the Ace of Pentacles upright, it's always a reversal of fortune for me. So if things have been going brilliantly, you may get ready to take a pause or hiatus. Get ready, you know, brace yourself to, you know, see things slow down at least for a time, right? But it looks like you all have been in this energy of heartbreak. So when I see that reversal of fortune here at the end in our final outcome, to me it's really speaking of, again, like I said, healing quickly. That's the biggest thing that's coming through, Libras. That's probably going to have something to do with the title of this, honestly, is how quickly you're healing. You know, I need you to meditate. We all need you to meditate. You need you to meditate. Yes. And I, you know, that's the last I'll say of that. But in general, it looks like you're healing really quickly. And for those of you, you know, who already are meditating, and that's a huge part of your daily life, and that's a huge part of how you're healing, you don't need to, you know, you don't need to tell me that it didn't resonate. I love to hear how it resonated, if it did, always with all the readings. But if it's not hitting home for you, if it's not for you, then it's just a message that's really strongly coming through for someone. Sometimes some of these messages, it really can just be a strong message that's coming through for one person. But what I ask for is, you know, the messages that you all need to hear. So I'm going to tell you what it is regardless. This is my Serenity. You can't even see the label anymore, but that's what the Splend was called. I just needed to take a breath of that real quick. Okay, so in this energy, in the stars energy, again, there could be an Aquarius that you're dealing with, a Leo that you're dealing with, a Taurus that you're dealing with. But those also, you know, don't take it too seriously. Those don't have to resonate. Those could be anywhere in your chart or someone else's chart who you're dealing with. In fact, I know for a fact that they are somewhere in your chart, and they are somewhere in who you're dealing with, right? Every chart, every person has every energy ruling some portion of their life. So if that doesn't resonate specifically, it just may be because you don't know all of theirs or even your chart. But there's so much hope on the table, with the Star card being the first card that came out. You having faith in yourself, and again, feeling like you know how to rejuvenate yourself, like you know the secret of renovation, as the Star card always reminds me of. And I think a lot of that faith and hope is coming from the divine, is coming from receiving help from beyond the veil. You are advised here to do some charity work, which I can't help but notice blends back into the meditation message. When I said you need to meditate, I also then said, we need you to meditate. I need you to meditate. We need you to meditate. And I talked about you doing it in order to contribute the best version of yourself to the collective, the world at large. That may be the charity work that's showing up here in your advice. You know, these all of these cards in all these different tarot decks, the meanings, they change shape and color, right? So I'm just over explaining now probably, but this doesn't always speak of that. It comes down to you know, where is it in the spread, and just what I'm feeling from the cards. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm going to blame Mercury retrograde again. But I see this at this time, especially below the Star card here, and with you being in a time of healing, I see you really needing to do charity work in some sense, okay? To give for the sake of giving in some sense. If that's how you have to look at meditation, like this isn't for me, I don't want to do this, but I guess I'll do it for the collective, then look at it like that. And that, going within and doing psycho-spiritual self-development work, at any rate, at any time, can always be viewed as a humanitarian effort. It helps me to get it done, to tell myself I'm not just doing it for me, I'm doing it for all of us, right? And it is. And don't let anybody tell you that's just you being selfish and that's just what you do for you. You can be doing that so that you can contribute a healthier, happier, more enlightened version of yourself that vibrates at a higher frequency to the collective at large, and that helps the whole world, that helps all of us. So to those of you who are going to turn around and do that work, thank you. I thank you. But if maybe you already do that and this is talking about giving in some other way, that can be a particularly useful healing tool, especially in this devastating energy of heartbreak that you are, again, quickly moving out of. You know that person wasn't for you, or that job wasn't for you. You know something better is coming. You know how to lift yourself up, how to take care of yourself. Just make sure, again, that you're eating the right things, that you're watching the right things, listening to the right things, doing positive self-talk, doing affirmations that make you feel happier and healthier. You know how to, and that's why you're moving quickly. You are quickly drifting away from that state of devastation, that state of sorrow. It's less an energy of release and more an energy of, like I said, just floating away from it, just drifting away, just maybe just kindly backing away. You know, you're just sort of saying, this isn't for me. I'm okay with that. I'm really feeling this energy, Libras, of knowing yourself. You're knowing yourself so well that it's hard to lose whatever experience, person, or opportunity has just broken your heart. But at the same time, if that place or person doesn't want you as badly as you thought you wanted them, then you're in a space of knowing yourself so well that you feel like, well, then I guess I don't really want that energy either. If that energy doesn't want me, then I don't want it. That's what I'm really feeling coming through. And that is, again, a reason why you're healing so quickly. And the divine, I believe, sees that and is sort of matching, as always happens, it's sort of matching your frequency on that. Like, oh, okay, so they realize that there's something better for them, that person or that place wasn't what they thought it was. They're valuing themselves and knowing themselves so well that the heartbreak is healing on its own. So let's help it. Let's encourage that. But so yeah, it's just an additional method of continuing that healing to mention that you may want to give. And I hope it does for some of you tie in with the meditation message. Look at that as giving to the collective if you have to, in order to dedicate at least a few minutes a day to it. And then let's move on to I want to real quickly look at your near future with the Hierophant card. I think I may need to just draw a clarifier for it, but the Hierophant or the High Priestess, again, it could be a Taurus energy, especially since you also have the Queen of Coins on the bottom of the deck. That's what some of you Libras, you are. You're dealing with a Taurus that's left your life specifically. Yeah, then we have the Empress card pop out. May have been a three-party situation. The Taurus was being selfish, greedy, wasn't handling you or the situation very well. They were being intolerant. They were being a coward. They were just being a selfish coward. Some of you are dealing with a Taurus who was just a selfish coward. And we're not always all that way, I promise. I'm a Taurus sun sign, so I feel like I have to defend us a little bit, but I'm not. I'm not defending this person. They were being a selfish coward. And that is why I feel like some of you are knowing yourself so well, that you're just kind of like, whatever. If you're that selfish and you're that scared and you're going to throw me under the bus by I don't know, setting up what the next relationship that you're moving into is before you finish things with me properly, then you're not who I thought you were, and I don't really want you anyway. So there is heartbreak, but you realize, I think a lot of you realize that the heartbreak is over the memory of who you thought that person was, but they're not really that person. And again, for some of you, it's not a person. For some of you, it's a job. And for some of you, Taurus doesn't resonate because that is anywhere in yours or their chart, but it is somewhere in both of your charts. So, you know, you can take it like that. But yeah, that's just to get more specific for a few of you real quickly there. In whatever way you are able to release the heartbreak because you see, like, that's just not for me. But specifically for some, it's a person who was being a selfish coward, and that does, it's like, thank you, that makes it so easy to let you go. That does, it makes it so much easier when they show their true colors. I think that's why so many of us like hound after the truth, because if you have a hold of the truth of who they really are, that can make it so easy to let them go. And I think that's why a lot of people who are that way try to cover their tracks so much and won't just let you have the truth and let you go, because they don't want to feel the feeling of your real assessment of them. Your real reaction to them is, I'm not interested in that once I see who you really are, you know? I think that's why they hide it. I think that's why we search for it. So, you know, I don't mean to like create like a divide, like an us and them, but I mean people who go into relationships and don't mind mentally manipulating people, and then people who get broken by that and don't tolerate it and don't act like that. And it's not that, you know, it's not that someone can't make a mistake like that and be the manipulative person once and then come back from it and change and choose to be someone else, but you're not waiting on that in this situation. You know, you're not. You're just focused on you and your own healing and moving to a happier place and state. Yeah, again, it may have been a Taurus. I'm just getting too many cards at once to use any of these as clarifiers. So ultimately, like I said, by the end of March, beginning of next month, we've got this beautiful reversal of fortune. It mirrors this heartbreak. It was heartbreak, and it turns to the opposite of that. That could mean a complete reversal of fortune. That could mean you're falling for someone new, something new starting. And it's always a reversal of fortune in either direction. So like I said, if things have been going really well, you could get ready for things to take sort of a pause, a hiatus, just at least a moment away from all the progress. But I don't think that message is here for most. I feel like that reversal of fortune is mostly for people who also relate to the Three of Swords heartbreak energy, which always reminds us that the only way out is through. Yeah, see, again, you're moving away from this earth energy. Can also be a Virgo, can also be a Capricorn. That could have something to do with the planets too, wherever Venus is at and whatever it's doing in relation to other planets. Of course, Venus does rule Taurus as well, so I'm not sure what's going on with everything. I could look at my calendar real quick. I know we have a full moon in your sign, Libra, on the 21st, right after the spring equinox. Of course, I saw someone else today say that it was during the spring equinox, and maybe it starts on the 20th for some. What else? It's already the 17th. Mars is moving into Gemini at the very end of the month. Before that, Mercury does go direct on the 28th. So if that has been plaguing you, if that's had anything to do with this heartbreak energy, do know that it will be going direct on the 28th, but we will still have the post-shadow period for a couple of weeks. I know Mercury has been wreaking havoc in my life with tech, communication, exes, as it always does. So I'm sure it's been potent for others as well. Venus is also moving into Pisces just before that on the 26th, just before Mercury goes direct on the 28th. So, yeah, like I said, it could have something to do, Libra, with Venus's movements as well. So again, real quickly, a clarifier. Yeah, for some of you, what I might be saying is when I know I said I was done with the meditation stuff, but some of you are dealing with the fire sign. I know I said Taurus a lot, but that came through before recording with shuffling and meditating as well. There was a lot of fire energy, so maybe an earth energy, maybe a fire energy. It could be anybody. Again, all of these energies are in all of our charts, but with the meditation message, to those of you who mentally or audibly responded to that suggestion with, I already meditate, I meditate all the time, etc., etc. What I could be talking about is that during Mercury retrograde, and specifically Mercury retrograde in Pisces, you need to step it up a notch. You need to do it a little more often. You need to steal more time for yourself. You may need to be facing some of your own shadow side, some things that you don't love about yourself, some things that you're still trying to develop and work on in yourself, and it may require some extra meditation time. Even if if you don't do it at all, just start doing it a little bit. If you have a routine, maybe kick it up a notch for the rest of this month, right? Because I am seeing this need for a routine. The Hierophant or the High Priestess can be having faith, finding a humble teacher to help you. Yes, and right now what I'm feeling is the ritual aspect of this card, needing to start a ritual around your meditation, or to change the ritual if you just need to do it a little bit more this month, right? It's about, I think, stealing time for yourself and facing your own shadow side. When I see the Seven of Swords in reverse, giving yourself that gift of dedicating that time to yourself, giving yourself that gift of meditating, or meditating more often, if that's the message for you. So I think we've looked at what we're going to look at in this session, Libra. I always let these recordings get to be twice as long as I mean them to be. The other piece of advice is, real quickly, the Four of Pentacles upright. It's about guarding your time, guarding your boundaries. That card can go many ways as well. It can be talking about being too guarded, or it can be talking about the need to guard your boundaries. And I think in this instance, I'm really feeling from this card that for most of you, there's always multiple messages, but I'm really feeling that for most of you, it's about guarding your boundaries and taking that time to meditate, to protect yourself, to protect your mental health in that way, to literally envision a light protecting you is what a lot of people suggest and do, to de-stress, to unwind, to create that ritual. That in itself is a form of protecting yourself. Make no mistake, if you're looking for some sort of, if you feel drained, if you feel attacked, if you feel preyed upon, literally or just energetically, which is also literal, but you know what I mean, like tangibly by people that you can see doing it to you and you can identify the ways in which they're draining your energy, or intangibly, energetically, like you sense that it's happening, but it's not something you can see, it's something you can just feel. If you feel attacked, if you feel preyed upon, and you're looking for some type of protection, taking that time out to meditate and guarding yourself in that way, putting that light over yourself, is a literal form of magical protection. Like, make no mistake about it. It's not, well, that's sort of magic, that's kind of protection. No, definitely. That's you protecting yourself with the best of them. And so again, there's that same message of, you can't just not do that work. And I'm so sorry to those of you who are so annoyed because you're thinking, quit telling me that I already do that work. I'm sure that many of you do. Yeah, they likely have, this person, they likely have both fire and earth. They likely have both Taurus and Sag, Aries, or Leo. Probably Leo in their chart. I see Taurus and Leo really strongly. But that's just sort of me like speculating and almost just sort of trying to have fun with your message. So again, don't take it too literally, too seriously if you don't identify with those. You've got the Wheel of Fortune showing up as a clarifier on your reversal of fortune. So you are correctly sensing that this is all happening for your highest good, for your benefit, in divine timing, Libras. You are correctly sensing that whatever's broken your heart, whatever you're releasing and moving away from, it's okay to do so, and it's okay for it to be easy for you to do so. It's not easy, it's not that it doesn't hurt, but you are correctly sensing that it is for your highest good. It makes sense that it's easier than other heartbreaks have been or will be, that it's easier than maybe some people would expect it to be, because you see clearly that just wasn't for you, and you are headed toward what is meant for you, because this reversal of fortune is fated. It's happening in divine timing. It may be an opportunity that you need to be aware of and not miss, but it is meant to come in, and very likely meant to come in this way, meaning meant to be something that you find or run into or realize after this heartbreak. And it's also going to be a relief. The Ten of Wands turned, reversed is signifying that it's time for you to relax when this reversal of fortune comes in. That there'll be a weight lifted off your shoulders. It's okay. It's even telling me right now that it's okay if you feel that things haven't been completely finished between you and this other person, that the closure hasn't happened for both of you the way that it will need to eventually. It's okay. Right now is about healing, getting to a calmer state, and again, protecting your boundaries too. Meditating, healing, protecting your boundaries, allowing yourself to enjoy the fact that this person leaving and you heading toward what has meant for you actually feels good. And I that may not be what they wanted. They may have wanted you to be upset about them if it was a romantic relationship, for instance. That it may, at the very least, it just may not be what people around you expected from you. But it's okay to let it feel good. Your intuition is correct. You're sort of doubting it a little right now, but your intuition, however quiet it may be, is correct that leaving this heartbreak, and even if it was a person, behind is leading you to where you're meant to be, is leading you toward a positive reversal of fortune, a time when you're allowed to relax. And again, divinity and divine timing is doing a lot of work for you. So now that we're well over 30 minutes, I will leave it at that. I will leave it in your capable hands from there, Libras. If you do need a private reading from me, just scroll down to the description box below. Check out all of your options there. There are links and my email address, which is LunarticksTarot@gmail.com. You can always email me first if you'd rather do it that way than just directly use the links. You can use the links and get a reading and then email me afterwards and say, okay, this is my astrological information. These are the questions I have. Totally up to you how you want to do it. But the links are there just in case you want to jump to it. Thank you so much for those of you who do order and donate, and just honestly all of your support to Lunartics Tarot, comments, messages, shares, all of it. Likes, subscribes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that you all make very wise choices for yourselves moving forward. And I love you, Libras, and I will post another tarot reading for you very soon.